Here on FTD Facts, we've shared information and facts about the Gurkhas before. Now, they're known by many as the most feared warriors. However, despite their reputation and accomplishments, many Gurkha have not had the greatest experience throughout history. So I want to explore the dark truth of the issues that the Gurkha face. Hey everyone, Leroy Kenton here, and welcome to another episode. This is a channel where we educate the world about the world by sharing facts and information about the different countries, cultures, and people all around the globe. As always, tap that like button, and if this is your first time here to FTD Facts, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you don't miss any future episodes like this. Okay, so now let's jump into the dark truth about the issues that the Gurkhas face. The Brigade of Gurkhas is the collective name which refers to all the units in the British Army that are composed of the Nepalese Gurkha soldiers. The brigade comes from the Gurkha units that originally served in the British Indian Army. This was before Indian independence, and prior to that served for the East Indian Company. In the past several years, in the year 2015 to be exact, the brigade celebrated 200 years of service in the British Army. The Gurkha Justice Campaign was a campaign group in the United Kingdom fighting for the rights of Gurkhas. Back in the year 1814, during the war in Nepal, where the British attempted to have Nepal join into their empire, army officers were really impressed by the Gurkha soldiers, and they encouraged them to volunteer for the East Indian Company. There are over 2,000 Gurkhas who are recruited by the British Army for the Gurkha contingent of the Singapore Police Force. And also approximately 2,000 Gurkhas serve in the Gurkha Reserve Unit in Brunei. And in addition to the British Army, the Gurkhas are also recruited by the Indian Army. Now there's approximately 100,000 of them in 44 battalions, plus 25 battalions of Assam Rifles. This is all part of the agreement that was signed at the time of India's independence. It wanted the Gurkhas who fought for the UK to gain the same rights as their British and Commonwealth counterparts. The group wanted the law to be changed so that all Gurkhas who fought for the UK would gain a right of abode, whereas under the previous legislation, they only had the right of abode if they retired after 1997. So they took their case to the High Court and had the support of a number of celebrities, including Joanna Lumley. Until 2004, Gurkhas were not allowed to settle in the United Kingdom. However, the government under Tony Blair changed the rules so that the Gurkhas who retired after 1997 would be allowed to settle in the UK. The significance of 1997, by the way, is because that was when the Gurkha Brigade headquarters moved from Hong Kong to Britain. Now, the soldiers who retired before this date, however, were only allowed the same settlement rights under certain strict circumstances. But the Gurkha Justice Campaign wanted the same settlement rights for all Gurkha soldiers. So just imagine you're serving a country and putting your life on the line for years, only to be told, oh, well, sorry, you can't stay here. Yeah, not a good feeling at all. So in the year 2008, the High Court ruled that the policy had been illegal since the process used to determine pre-1997 applications was deemed unjust. The government of Gordon Brown agreed to create new rules. However, these rules were unveiled in April of 2014 and 2009, but then the Gurkhas saw this and they were upset. But why were they so upset? Well, you see, because there was no automatic right to settle in the United Kingdom for all Gurkha veterans. Gurkhas who wanted to settle in the UK would have to meet one or more of the 5 requirements, and they had to have 3 years of continuous residence in the UK during or after service. They need to also have close family in the UK. They need to be awarded a bravery award at level 1 or level 3. They had to have given 20 years of service or more in the Gurkha Brigade, and also chronic or long-term medical conditions caused or or aggravated by service. If they had that, they would have been accepted. Now, campaigners claimed that under these rules, only about 100 Gurkhas would qualify for residency in the UK, although the government suggested that no, there's like 4,300 of them that could have been eligible to settle. So let's talk a little bit about how this kind of backfired for the Gurkhas and Joanna Lumley. Some claim that her involvement has caused a lot more problems than it even solved. Britain has not proved to be the land flowing with milk and honey, like the promised land, like they so believed. Instead, according to the British Gurkha Welfare Society, Joanna Lumley's campaign has resulted in thousands of elderly and unwell Gurkha pensioners living in poor living conditions and having very low incomes. So on one hand, it was like, yay, great, you know, it was a victory for the Gurkhas. They can settle in the UK, or a lot more of them anyways, could settle in the UK after serving for years in the British Army. However, at the same time, now they're in the UK and they're a lot older, they're not making as much money because the pension is so little. They're completely miserable. Well, not saying every single one of them, but a large portion of them are. So what are your thoughts on this? Let me know. Was this a victory, do you think, or was it more of a disaster than anything? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down below, because your voice and your opinion really matters here on FTD Facts. Don't forget, you can follow me on social media. Those links are down below. And I can't wait to see all of you next time in another episode. All right, guys, later. Hey everybody, so here's our first video that we've done about the Gurkhas. We've also covered more facts and information about the country of Nepal on a whole, as well as other places around the world. And don't forget, tune into FTD Facts every day for more educational episodes.